One question that comes up a lot when homeowners are choosing impact French doors is a locking system. And there are usually two main designs you'll see, a 3-point locking system or a traditional deadbolt with manual pin locks at the top and at the bottom. At first glance, they both seem like they do the same thing. 3 locks holding the door closed. But the way they work in real life is actually very different. This door is an example of a deadbolt locking system that has pins both at the top and at the bottom. Don't worry about it now, we'll get back to it later. Or a 3-point locking system works a little different. In this setup, when you turn the handle or the key, 3 points engage at the same time. One in the center, and then one at the top and one at the bottom, all controlled by the same mechanism. This system does 2 important things. First, it pulls the door tightly into the frame. That compression helps air infiltration, water intrusion, and movement during high winds. Second, it spreads the structural load across the entire door height, instead of just one locking point in the middle. So during storms or strong wind pressure, the door is supported at multiple points. From a convenience standpoint, it's very simple. One turn of the key and the entire door is locked. Now, let's compare that with a deadbolt and manual pin system. In that setup, the deadbolt locks in the center of the door like a normal front door. At the top and at the bottom locks are all completely separate. They're usually small metal pins that slide into the frame at the top and at the bottom. Each one has to be manually engaged. So instead of one lock controlling everything, you technically have 3 independent locks. That creates an interesting conversation around security. If someone was able to pick the cylinder on a 3-point locking system, the mechanism would release all 3 locks at the same time. But with manual pins, if someone was able to pick the deadbolt, the top and the bottom would still hold strong and the door would not move. If someone were able to pick the cylinder on a 3-point locking system, once that would open, that would also disengage the bolts and they would be able to get inside your house. On a manual locking system, they can pick this lock, however, it would not disengage the bolts at the top and the bottom. Therefore, they wouldn't be able to break into your house. So it's basically like having 3 separate locks that can't all be defeated from one keyhole. But here's where real life comes into play. Let's talk about everyday use. Most homeowners are very disciplined about locking their doors for about the first 2 weeks. Then life happens. Kids are running in and out, someone lets the dog outside, someone grabs the package, and the top and bottom pins slowly stop getting used. It's not that people don't care about security, it's just human nature. 3 separate locks means 3 separate steps, and eventually people default to just use one deadbolt. Now let's talk about storm scenario, because this is where the difference really matters. Imagine a hurricane warning is issued and evacuation orders are announced. You packed up what you can in your car and you're getting ready to leave. If your door uses manual pins, those pins can only be engaged from the inside of the house. Once you step outside and close the door, you can't reach them anymore, unless you have another exit like a garage door. So homeowners often face a strange situation. They can either lock all 3 pins and stay inside, or leave through the door and only lock the deadbolt. With the 3-point system, it works differently. You step outside, close the door, turn the key once, and all 3 locking points engage from outside. Much easier when you're evacuating quickly. There are also day-to-day situations where this matters. For example, if you have teenagers coming home late or someone house sitting while you're away, 3-point lock system works exactly like a normal lock. Key in the cylinder, turn once, everything locks. With manual pins, they would have to remember to lock the deadbolt and go inside and engage the top and the bottom pins every time. Another scenario homeowners mention is cleaning crews, contractors, or pet sitters. If someone unfamiliar with the house is locking up, a complicated lock system sometimes leads to mistakes. And sometimes that means the door ends up only half secured. So when comparing these 2 systems, there isn't a single right answer. Manual pin systems create completely independent locking points. 3-point locking systems create a compressed structural seal with one simple motion. Most homeowners choose based on which system fits their lifestyle better. If you want to see both locking systems side by side and understand how they work, comment locks or DM security.